There's voices in my brain. Baby,
I love that song. Los Roaches original. What's going on, everybody? This is Isaac, and we are at the shack for Two Guitars and a Mic, episode numero uno. I'm here with my two homeboys. I'm talking about John Maxwell, everybody. Guitarist extraordinaire. My boy Sammy C is in the house.
Hola.
My boy Sammy C is in. And not to let's introduce the my two badass producers. I'm talking about Gabriel right there working two different kind of mics. We're going old school and of course modern on YouTube. And Mr. Lewis. What's going on, Lewis? No. Anyway, just in case you're wondering why I have my glasses on, I'm having eye issues right now, but I'll get through it. Having me a cold beer, but
You better keep that mouth shut.
Gentlemen, what's been going on? I know we did a few episodes of this, then we chilled out. We had some personal issues we had to get through, and then on that during all of that, we started gigging again, and I'm actually
hated it.
I'm actually very happy to be back on stage again. Sammy, you're really busy right now.
Yes.
How many bands are you playing with besides Los
17.
he's in the Jamaican band.
It's the same five guys.
This motherfucker went into the Texaco, came out with the Tejano band.
Right. I believe it.
Is there any?
Yes.
But because I know you guys are you were working with Brian Brown at the backyard in Waco, Texas, of course.
Yeah.
What was that? Is that coming up, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be in November.
That's gonna be like a ladies thing, or what is it?
It's celebrating the ladies of music.
Okay.
So everything from
Let me guess, you're playing some Heart. And some
no,
Stevie Nicks?
No, we're doing a
Heart?
Stevie Nicks tune. Some yeah, we're doing Heart.
You gotta do Barracuda.
What am I thinking? We're doing Heart. Yeah.
You know what? And I don't give a damn. Well, I was just joking because I was just calling you out, Barracuda. But all those songs are badass songs, and Heart was a badass band. Dude.
It's tricky to play.
Golly, and Nancy Wilson, that shit was not easy to play.
No.
Man, what a beast of a guitar player, and still rocking today. And they both just haven't missed a beat. I see them every chance I get on the internet. They're always doing live stuff, and man, Nancy Wilson still rocks it.
Dude,
rocks it.
they put some work in way back in the day.
For sure, and the songs they wrote, they've had everything you can want in a huge rock band. They've had, great iconic songs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The whole thing, I don't know if you want to call it whatever, the gimmick with just two sisters, but you know what? It was what it was. I don't know if it was gimmick or not, but the talent was there, and they could hang with the dudes. That's crazy that well, not crazy that you brought it up, but I've been listening to them. Matter of fact, this week I saw Nancy Wilson on. She did something.
She was on the tribute thing.
That's what it was. Still rocking it. Golly,
Pink
man.
was singing on that.
That's what it was. That's what. So what was that show? Because I don't really.
Who was it a tribute?
The tribute for Taylor.
Oh, that's right. I did. So I did see some of it because I did see. Of course, I guess y'all saw his son play.
That was killer.
Golly, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, his heart was in it, and the golly. So, do you think he gets the gig or no?
No.
Wow.
His mom will not let him.
I get.
follow
You know
that
what?
same trip.
No. You're right. You're right, dude. What a beast.
Maybe
man.
when he's 22.
Yeah. But how old is he?
I think he's still a kid,
He's
right?
a teenager.
Like 14,
He's 10 years
15.
old.
Gosh, dang it! Oh yeah, no, he didn't get that gig. He didn't get that gig. But speaking of him, how many musicians have we lost?
Lewis, what's the count? Like 6 or 7 or 42.
It's one of the two.
Yeah.
I know we lost Coolio,
Waco.
Taylor,
One of his last
Miss-
performances.
Miss Loretta Lynn.
Coal miner's daughter.
Yeah, the co-miners, but still, that's enough. I don't know if I'm sure there were. What's that?
Is there another one?
Not that I know of, but those are the ones that I can think of. But man, and all of them were just super great. And rap is such a heavy game to be at the top. The fact that Coolio even made it to the top at one time, it didn't last long, but he was at the top at one time.
Dude, at one point, that was the biggest song on the planet.
I believe it.
Yeah.
And so, man, for sure, R.I.P. to all of
You know
them.
what's kind of messed up is he was worth a third of what Billy Joe Shaver was at his death.
Wow.
In his death.
Wow.
He had like a $1.5 million, and Billy Joe Shaver was like $10 million or something.
Wow.
Was there? Yeah, when they passed.
Wow.
And $1 million in California, you're broke.
I know it, dude.
Yeah.
That one not last year at all.
Well, that's his assets net worth.
Wow, that's even worse.
My net
Yeah.
worth is like 50,000,
Right.
or something.
Right.
That's all you get.
Yeah. Man, oh man. Gosh, Lee.
I think it's 53 now.
And they said he died of a heart attack, but he looked so not. He was a young guy, and he did not look like he had a health problem.
Well, the thing is African Americans, they'll be 90 kid and still look 30.
That's
Never
true.
been
That's
in jail.
true. That's true. But still, he wasn't. He was like in his early 50s.
That is not
no,
true
he's
about
57.
Mexicans.
He was like 57,
Gabe.
I
Well,
think.
you go from 80 to what are you again?
Mexican does crack. Is that what you want to?
Yeah.
Blacks don't crack. Mexicans have been known to get a little brittle once in a while.
A little dry.
Yeah. Well, it is
Weathered.
That's due to our cholesterol, our love for manteca. So.
Well, our love for Saturday night.
You ain't lying. And
You
Sunday
know,
morning and Sunday mornings, because we go to Grandma's house hard.
Ah.
We would go to Grandma's house hard.
So
You know, you're a kid.
Right.
That first get together they have, where they just like the family
Were
comes
you
in.
eating all starches and pork?
Oh, the family comes in from a different part of the state, right? Your family's kind of reserved. They're up here, but they come in from like West Texas, and then you wake up that next Sunday morning, you go, man, that's a lot of beer cans. What happened?
Oh yeah.
Oh, and
I mean, we all have family members
I
like.
gotta go to church that morning.
Yeah.
We all have family members like that.
Yeah, I am that family member.
Oh, let's not forget Olivia Newton-John.
Oh, yeah, that's right,
That's
man.
true. That's
Hey,
true.
Louis, we knew her.
Thank you, Louis.
Dude, I used to have, everybody had a crush on her, and she was beautiful to the end. She was always, man, golly. And you know what? Another thing, dude, what not a lot of people really talk about, because she was known for Grease and all that. But, dude, yeah, she had a pretty good voice, but, dude, the songs she had some great songs. When they went back and started playing her songs when she died, golly, there was a bunch of songs that I forgot about.
Really?
Yeah, there's some cheesy ones like, the slow song, I Honestly Miss You. I mean, that's just not, but the other stuff is like, you think about it like, golly, there were good songs,
I've heard that there's on Xanadu, there's a rumor that you can play Xanadu from start to finish,
Right?
one after another, and it lasts about 18 minutes.
Hey, oh, what's this?
It lasts for years. No, like Led Zeppelin.
Right, yeah,
the
yeah.
whole
And
album.
also
It plays for 25 years.
another artist that nobody recognizes, but you do recognize just her one memorable song, "Goodbye Horses."
What's is that a song or is that
That's
a
a
band?
song from Silence of the Lambs.
Oh,
Is
shit.
there a band
I
called
slept
Silence of
through
the
that.
Lambs?
No, there's a person by the name of Q Lazarus that just recently died.
Okay,
That's her one.
okay,
and
you
only
lost
song.
me totally. Who wrote this song?
It's a lady.
And where does Silence of the Lambs come into play? Did I
That-
get it wrong? What happened?
no.
During the
it's-
part where he was scooping his brains out.
There you go.
Can you play that?
We're playing it now.
Oh, well, what the hell? Who cares?
It's that Buffalo Bill dance.
She puts the lotion in the basket.
Oh, so So what does he do?
He's hiding his
So he
berries.
died. So the person who wrote that died.
Yeah, the person who wrote that, her one and only hit. That was
Okay,
it.
guys.
Right
I was
on.
like,
Right
I didn't know
on.
what
Well,
you were
I
talking
mean,
about.
she got like stereotyped right then, or what do you cut? Typecast.
Yeah.
Podcast.
All of her songs are about lathering up something, putting oil, if you will.
Write us one more like that.
Right, yeah.
Lambish.
So
Put lotion rather quickly on the skin.
Or else it gets the hose
I was
again.
trying to say it without saying the lotion on the skin, but I couldn't come up with anything.
So let's do a real quick recap of what what's been going on because I know Gabriel's been at how many Comic Cons have you been since we started doing the whole practice episodes?
Oh, no. Practice episodes.
So it's been almost a year or so.
Oh, God. 10? Maybe
God
11.
dang, rocking those Comic Cons. So which ones are they?
I go to ones in Dallas, and I'll go to some here in Bell County.
Which one was the best one?
I say the best one.
Is the camera on you? Or there's no camera on you,
There's
is
no
it?
camera on me.
Okay, but anyway,
no,
so
there-
so what's the so which one's the best one, brother?
I would say Dallas.
Dallas. Okay, that's cool.
'Cause it's bigger.
What's that, Mr. Lewis?
always had some
There's a
questions, though.
camera. There's a camera right at the top right. It's like looking right at the floor, but you can tap it and then you can get it to face you.
Top right, top right. He said he's good. He said he's
That's
good.
fine.
We'll get it next time. But
We'll get it next time.
so that was the coolest one you said?
Yeah, because there's a lot more people there.
Okay, I
There's a lot
got
more,
you.
You know, people dressed up.
Who are the
So,
celebrities
does the-
there? I'm sorry.
The celebrities
Oh.
this year was all 4 hobbits from the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you even have the guy who played Rudy. He was there.
Really?
How about Samwise Gamgee?
So did he put?
That's it. I mean,
did he
not
pull double
Frodo?
duty?
Frodo was there.
Oh, dude.
Did that Rudy guy play double duty? Did he do
What
also
else did he
Rudy
have
and?
to
Yeah.
Did he?
I mean,
Because Rudy was just as
start making it
popular.
with new actors.
Yeah.
What about me? I was in that one too.
So hey, well, I guess
Oh, and
I-
Brendan Fraser was there too. this year.
Really?
Yeah, Brendan Fraser was there.
Nice.
wow, was he swole?
A little bit.
He was pretty.
He had Mr. Few Meals.
He looked like somebody's uncle.
Yeah.
You know,
But
he was.
everybody still loved him.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Of course,
Yeah,
dummy. You know, dude. I did. Let me tell you. that-
Encino Man.
what,
They
what,
loved him in that one.
What'd y'all just say? That movie was.
The Mummy.
No. He went back where they were stuck in that bomb shelter.
Oh.
Gosh dang it! But I love that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Blast from the past.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
dude, I love that movie, dude. I love I love the part where he goes, thanks for calling me on the telephone. But anyway, John Maxwell, what you been up to, brother?
Oh,
I know you've been rocking the stage. You hadn't missed a step.
doing some of that. Don't
You've
know
been
about
kicking
the
ass
stuff.
on stage, brother. I know whenever I'm up there, I say, best vocalist in town, John Maxwell. But you are, brother, and you've been killing it.
Here's that.
Killing it, brother.
Oh,
No, but I always say that because you are, brother. I mean, the front guy in town, and Waco, Texas, and Waco's getting put on the map. That's John Maxwell. You know, and there's a couple others that are close. I'm not going to say, but John Maxwell, to me, I think, is top dog over here. So what you been up to, brother?
Well, we're getting things organized for the change in weather.
I hear you. We got a show coming up November 5th, also in Belmead, your old stomping grounds,
The 05,
the 05.
Did you go to school in Belmead
I graduated school and college, high school and college there.
at the same time?
Oh, at TSTC, I guess.
In
That's smart.
the same zip code.
Nice.
Yes, it was the one that I could afford at the time.
Hey.
Fresh out.
Were you singing in high school, John? Like in a
Um,
rock band, or?
Yeah, but people threw shit at me.
Oh well, hey,
It didn't- it wasn't-
we've all had a thing or two chunk out of. It's called paying your dues, or
Well,
cutting your teeth.
I didn't realize that when you put the headphones on, that everybody else could hear you. And apparently, I suck.
Well,
They're just being
so
nice.
Yeah.
do you remember your first band, like the dudes you were jamming with?
Yeah.
So, a guy named Kel Allen. I don't know how we all ended up. We ended up out at the lake or something.
Right, right.
A couple kids trying to catch a buzz. I think we had a joint between us, and we all rolled one up. We're 15 or whatever.
For
16.
sure, yes.
And sorry about that, drug-free America. Anyway, he had this little amplifier. It was a Marlboro case. It said Marlboro on it.
I remember those.
It was like a
And a little cigarette pack.
little cigarette pack.
I remember those.
And he's out there and he's playing Rat and he's playing Doc and he's playing, Guns N' Roses, which the album was out, but it for me, Guns N' Roses was out a long time before it even hit my palate.
Right, I got you. Yes.
So I mean, it could have been out 2 years for all I know.
Right.
Same way with the Tesla album. It was just one of those, deals. But yeah, that.
What were you jamming before Rat and all that kind of music?
Oh well, we didn't actually do those.
No,
songs.
but what were you listening to?
Man, I ended up getting some albums left by my brother, and I was listening to country.
Okay.
I stayed, around country.
Okay.
But then these 5 albums kind of changed the path.
Which ones?
It was like AC/DC, Power Age.
Yes.
Some Ted Nugent even.
Right.
Gives props to Ted Nugent. Judas Priest.
Which one? The still I know what you're talking about. Yes. Yeah. Yes. With the whatever the razor blade and the fist. I can't think what it's called.
And
British Steel?
Sticks.
Yeah, British Steel.
Sticks. Rush Moving Pictures.
Oh yes.
All those.
Wait, which Sticks album?
Paradise Cafe.
Okay.
Paradise, whatever.
I don't. My brother was a
Something
Sticks guy.
Paradise.
My brother was a Sticks guy. I wasn't. But yes,
And I
dude,
think
all
there
great albums, brother.
Think there was a journey or something in there. But
Oh,
yeah,
for
that's,
sure.
That's how I was victimized
I hear you.
by the devil.
But
Through Journey.
You're still rocking the stage
Neil
now,
Sean.
brother. You're still rocking the stage, brother.
Man, the hips ain't working. It's like they used to.
It's the cold.
Well, you're living clean now, dude. You're living clean now, brother.
Yeah, yeah.
I guarantee your hips gonna get some snap right back into it.
yeah.
I guarantee you, dude.
Yeah.
Sammy, what you been up to, brother?
Playing, taking care of stuff at the house, and doing some recording.
At your studio?
Yes, sir.
So, what's your rig like? Because you just got one room, right? It's
I have
a
one-
guitar tracking studio.
That yeah.
And do you have a website people can get a hold of you or anything like
No.
that? Just holler.
Just
send
holler.
Send
You'll
a
find
message
me.
right here
Yeah.
on this page.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah, doing that, man, and fine tuning. You're talking about the recording stuff, fine tuning that.
Right.
That's. I mean, I've been recording for a long time, but I never really understood, what happened on the other side of the board.
right.
There was always good people there doing that, and I got into the recording stuff on my own at the house, but I mean, man, I spent years just kind of like. You record it, and then you just keep your fingers crossed that it's not going to blow your car speakers
For
out when you
sure.
hear it back. And then you start to learn a little bit more. So that's it, man. Fine tuning my room a little bit.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So what does it mean when it's red in the red area?
Before it went to the computers, it meant it was all
It was
right.
good, yeah.
Now it's
No,
like
not good. You don't want it there.
you don't want it there.
You get a little fuzz in there.
Yeah, you get a crackle that you cannot. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good.
I've been tracking guitars. I'm doing a rock album for this girl here in Waco, Texas. I'm stoked because I'm gonna start doing some rock stuff. And but what I did different this time than what I normally always do, and when I first I produced albums not here in my studio, and I've always loved recording. And then once I got my studio, which has been about 11 years ago, I loved recording, but I didn't know, okay, I really got to do some work. It's not going to sound great. You got to move mics around and all this stuff like that. So it is what it is. But here lately, I've been tracking guitars with that damn Line 6 Pod Go. And I'm not going to lie to you, I love it because you don't have to walk around in another room and hope you get the best sound you possibly can, and with whatever mic combinations, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And, or you hear something that just sounds so good in there, and you walk in here, it's like, that's not what I'm hearing. But with that Line 6 Pod Go, what you're hearing is what's going to come out.
Yeah, when you're micing that guitar amp, it's tricky, right? Like,
For sure.
Guitar players or like a vocalist, they hear themselves sing, but they know what it sounds like coming back through a monitor, right?
Right.
And so when you're micing or when you're getting your sound up, on a guitar amp, it's like you're hearing it like you've always heard it standing in front of it, but you're also hearing the room.
Right, right.
Which that kind of goes into it. And then when you put a mic in front of that, the best way I can describe it is if I'm standing up and playing into my amp, man, my ears are up here and I'm adjusting. The mic, it's right on top of the of the speaker, and so it's kind of like getting the tractor beam sound of your guitar. And like you were saying, man, you dial up your sound, you go back and you record your part, and then you hear it, and you're like, it didn't sound.
It's
like
not.
that.
It's not the way. Yeah, exactly. It's not what I was hearing. But with these Kempers. And these Line 6, what do you want to call these? What are these? I forgot the word. Just amp modeling. I guess you call them amp modeling processors. Man, years ago, and trust me, I started Line 6 when they started off with the first pod.
Yeah.
Years ago, I gave it a shot for a whole minute. It wasn't ready yet. But of course, like anything in life, anything in technology that comes out like that, it's not going to be badass out there. It's gonna be good, but not badass. But now I think they're getting it now. They're getting very close right now. So I started tracking with that processor. You know what, dude? Between that and using those synthetic drums that you can pretty much kind of control yourself in Logic, I got that bitch sounding right like a full band. It sounds almost very, very organic.
Yeah.
That's how far technology has gone in recording right now.
Yeah, those guys, you're talking about Line 6. Man, I think that first pod, did you ever see that thing?
The red, it was like looked like a red bean.
Maroon-looking kidney bean thing. And I had one, but I ran it wrong. I'd run it into a guitar amp, and I didn't know that it's supposed to go into the PA, right?
Oh, well, yeah.
And so it always sounded weird. But anyway, that was, 20-something years ago?
It's been a whole minute ago.
State.
Yeah, it's like all of that, man.
sure.
And so, and I kind of I stepped away from that stuff. And I don't know, I guess about 4 years ago,
Right.
you start hearing some rumblings that, oh, man.
The Kemper stuff first.
It's a Kemper and the Line 6. And what was the other big one? Axe Effects.
Oh, that's right, Axe Effects.
Axe Effects, and that so-and-so's using Axe Effects on tour, and they're not even using real amps. And you're like, whatever, right? About 2 years later, you finally hear somebody has one, and you're like, oh, that's pretty tasty, right? Though, he was talking about recording with them. The thing is, too, is like, we all grew up listening to like recordings where they were using Marshalls, ZZ Top or Zeppelin or Ozzy.
That's
whatever.
what we grew up wanting to do.
You're growing up hearing these recordings, and they've got Marshalls cranked and mic'd, and right. But if I had that same Marshall, to get it up to that spot, it's so loud, dude, that you can't grab it. You know what I mean? With your ear for too long.
It needs a lot of throwing room too.
It needs that, dude. And whether we know it or not, your ears, after about 30 minutes, they do this thing where they start to compensate for, So what those modelers do is it allows you to get a cranked up Marshall sound, or pretty close, without blowing your ears out. So yeah, it's. I never thought I'd see it, but yeah, it's crazy.
Well, dude, I'm loving it. I'm loving how quick the process is going. But I'll bring one in one day. I also want to do. Maybe we'll do some jamming here sometime, the three of us. But I'm definitely gonna show off the Line 6 pod, go to the musician guys out there and gals out there. Them things sound very, very good, dude. Very good. You know, there's always going to be that debate, especially with that, the feeling, the vibration of the amp and all that stuff, and you know, it is, and the growl of a Marshall, but still, you know, to get to the recording part of it, I think is very, very good for that. And we just got through seeing, we went to go see Five Finger Death Punch. It's a crazy story. It's stupid as hell, but whatever. We went to go see Megadeth. So we left about, right after work. I took a shower, took off to Marlin. I was at Sammy's by 6:30. We headed to Houston. We got there 9 o'clock. All right, cool. Let's see. Let's and we heard Five Finger Death Punch was just started. Badass. That's a great opening act. I love Five Finger Death Punch. We were there. They rocked it. Anyway, going back about the Kemper, or whatever, Line 6, there was not an amp in sight. And they sounded fucking magnificent.
Massive.
Sounded
Massive.
magnificent, dude.
It's crazy.
So, anyway, getting back to the crazy story.
That's the only thing that's kind of weird to me is you don't see
I know.
the stuff out there.
I know it.
You
That's the
kind
thing.
of use it as a crutch.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go talk to my amp.
Right, exactly.
You know.
Oh, but anyway, so man, they rocked it. It was over, and they had a long encore. It was like, oh, okay, I guess you know what, Megadeth probably don't mind that anyway. So Sammy took a smoke break on out there, and we were just standing out there, and I noticed everybody was fucking walking off in droves. I was like, man, that's very disrespectful to Megadeth. And then come to find out, oh shit, Megadeth must have started at fucking 6 o'clock, and the concert was done at fucking 11.
They opened for Five Finger Death Punch.
But that's another thing, they opened for Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah.
I think
Wait, Megadeth?
Yeah.
I think Megadeth has to come back, prove themselves, because he did such a great job at fucking himself up. You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
He is doing that right now. He's on that kind of tour right now.
Yeah, he's just getting his
Because I think after that
back
Five
in
Finger
gear.
Death,
Yeah.
after that Five Finger Death Punch concert,
That motherfucker
they took off, started
sounds good.
headlining. They started headlining. Their
Did
own
they
tour.
really?
I think so. So, but man, but still, dude, Five Finger Death Punch rocked it. Golly, that and dude, you forget how many freaking hits those guys
So
have.
that cat just retired.
Who, the singer?
Yeah.
Dude, he'll be back. He's known for doing shit like that.
He's retired before.
Yes, he's crazy, dude. Him and the band, they're always in cahoots with each other. But and I got one more thing before we start letting Lewis do his thing in there. But I saw this interview today with Scott Stapp from Creed. Theo Vaughn interviewed him. It was a great interview, matter of
Someone
fact.
at work was talking about a podcast.
But,
Who?
but Scott Stapp from Creed.
I mean, who interviewed him?
Theo Vaughn.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a great
Wow.
interview. But
Yeah,
I guess there's a thing, and I've heard, but not a lot. But I have heard of it. For people always, I guess throwing shade on Creed. I guess Scott and Stapp, I guess, deserved it. But what I'm saying is that cheesy to listen to those dudes? Because at one time those guys were at the top of the game.
Man, those
two
cats
of
in
the best shows ever.
those cats in Nickelback got it bad.
They
dude.
got it bad, bro.
They got it bad,
It
dude.
was two of the best shows I ever saw.
I agree.
One was when they were in their heyday, and one was when he had filmed the looked like a prisoner video that someone
Right.
had kept him prisoner,
Yeah,
and the
turned out-
aliens were getting him or something.
That came from him. Oh, there you go. Wait, what you saying? What were you saying? John?
Well, he had. I don't know if it was like some kind of MySpace video or something like that, but he had got a video out there gone viral where he is in a hotel room, thinks people's listening to him, and
Oh yeah, dude.
the
Wow.
the things
Oh,
you
he was
would.
paranoid.
He was a little beyond that.
Wait, he didn't really touch it on that, but he did say he did some crazy things.
He didn't talk about the time he was in a hotel room, thinking people were coming to kill him.
Yeah, at one time,
Well, that story has been repeated.
Remember
over
when
and over
Fred
again.
Durst kind of called him out?
No.
What was that? I think that was at that Woodstock thing, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
Or something like that,
It's
or
'cause his
Lollapalooza,
old lady liked
or
him.
Lollapalooza, or something
That's
like
what
that.
I'm thinking about.
It's something like that. But
Hey,
people
that's-
people didn't like that dude. But
that's-
is it because we're the older guys that we kind of like him, and the younger guys didn't really get it? Is that what it is?
I didn't get it, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I did get it. I mean, I did like it, but like I said, it was it was an acquired taste. But at one time, those guys were huge,
Yeah, I saw both ends of it. Man, when I saw them, they had a tour bus with a window that was knocked out. It had that blue painter's tape holding like a towel.
Oh, yeah,
over the
oh, yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Some piece of shit trailer with a fender half off.
Wow.
He had his wife selling T-shirts. This was at the Granada, and the Granada's like smaller
Yeah,
than
yeah.
the Hippodrome.
Yeah.
So when you go in, you have to slide and slink through all the tables with merchandise and shit. I pretty much put my butt on her
That's a tiny place. yeah.
on the table she was selling
Right.
T-shirts from, not knowing it was her. 'Cause I
Right.
had to get by
Mrs.
this
Stapp.
to get by this guy, and
Wow. So, and how about the other one though? The other show.
well, the thing about that show, it was pretty funny at the end. He was kind of broke, and he
Right.
was doing this tour, and
So this was before the height of his fame, or
This was-
at the end of it?
that's what I was saying. The first show I saw was really, really good, probably one of the best
With Creed?
with Creed. The last show I saw with Creed was with the new band, and we saw him with Granada. But anyway, at the end of the show, there was some guys to the side of us that had been, they followed him for a number of dates in a row, and they were from like New Jersey, New York. And they were the spiked hair, they'd done push-ups before the show.
Right,
So-
right.
Well, they throw a stick toward Amanda, right to her, because it's a small spot.
Right, right.
She reaches up to grab it, and when she does, that whole wall of those Goonies from fucking New York, just not all these football-sized player guys,
Right.
just crushed her. Well, the camera's still rolling. She's got video of it, and it's spinning on the floor, and you hear her going, I'm okay. But Scott Stapp looks over, sees her on the ground, and he's like, I don't need any more shit, and goes, pew, takes off. He leaves the stage like that. The drummer that threw the sticks get kind of delayed a little bit, looked at Scott, and then he made his way off. But Scott was like, man, I don't need any kind of shit. I'm on probation. This girl just fucking got flung across the room by these guys that they're creeps that have been
He
following
said I'm
me.
on probation, man.
Yeah. I've been
I
fol-
don't need this in my life.
I've been followed
I
by
don't
these
need this
fucking
shit.
Italian
I can only
creeps.
break one law at a time, and I already left the county.
Yeah.
I'm in Texas.
But hey, one thing he did do is he testified during a time where you wouldn't say God in public.
I know, brother. He brings it. I'll
He-
give him that for sure.
He had like 20 seconds of him basically testifying in front of everybody, and everybody dug it, They
Right on.
accepted it because it was when in Rome.
Right
kind
on.
of thing. There was no mocking. There was no nothing. Right now, it'd be a fool to try to do a prayer in.
Well, dude, he
yeah.
talks about it on the Theo Von interview, dude.
But,
He still I guess he is a Christian still, and how he wrote all those lyrics. People first mistake them for a Christian man, but he did that intentionally, not to be mistaken. That's just that was his life.
Well,
I
man,
think
he was
he got his ass whooped when he didn't know scripture, and
That's what
you
it
hear the
was.
part about his dad.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was crazy. It was he definitely lived a lifestyle, and how it's crazy in life. How even like I always don't put them together because I'm fans of both of them. But like even like fighters or musicians or whatever that are making it to the top. A lot of times their stories are like, man, they lived drastic childhoods. You know what I'm saying? They really went through fire to get to where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
And that's crazy how a lot of guys, fighters and or even musicians have some kind of story like that. And that dude, like I said, he got his ass beat by his dad all the time, daily, daily. Even when he was a teenager, he just couldn't do anything about it. You know, but
So
Well,
you said you saw him with some guys that was a new band, so he kept Creed going with a new band?
it must have been Scott Stapp,
there,
right?
there was all right at first. Tremoli or whatever his name is, kind of was protective of the Creed stuff because he Tremontier.
Toronto, yes.
Yeah, right.
Oh, he was under he was doing the Alter Bridge thing too, right?
Well, this is what the deal was.
Ah,
He was being kind of protective of the Creed stuff because he didn't have quite yet that band yet. But
Gotcha,
then they got Miles
Yeah, yeah.
Miles
Kennedy,
Kennedy.
and they did the.
that
I
dude's
guess
a badass.
I think they started with like some kind of tribute thing where they weren't really together, but they played some songs.
What they call Creed-ish,
Creed Plus.
Creed-like.
Creed Plus Plus.
Creed Apollo.
two times.
Right.
Two times the Creed. But yeah, it was
Well, I dig Tremonti.
yeah.
You know, it was
But
just
He's a beast.
that cat was one of those guys, man. Like, you know, there's some singers when you hear them, it just doesn't resonate with you, and that was him. That was him for me.
He was like doing a version of Scott Stapp.
Yeah, and like Eddie Vedder.
Yeah.
Right.
I honestly never heard one of his songs.
And he talks about that. How people always thought he was a watered down Eddie Vedder. You know.
Really?
Yeah, he talks about that.
Yeah.
And I heard a lot of people talk about that. You know, it was what it was, dude. I dug him. I dug him all the way. I think the last album I bought was the Faces album, I think, and that was it. But man, it was, and I think that let me down because I don't remember anything from there. I don't think, but
Yeah, well, there was good
There was a
bands
couple
around
of
then.
songs.
Were there?
You know, yeah. That was all around like the early 2000s, right?
But back to that story, you know, when that first happened, he was being real protective of the name, the songs, and all that stuff until he got Miles in the deal and
Right.
started actually getting somewhere that Creed never really got. Creed got a cult following, but the songs were a watered down version of something else. Well, Miles has got that, 6 freaking octave
Mm.
thing that he
Yes,
does.
yes.
And there was once that dude sang it was over for Scott.
yeah,
Anyway.
exactly.
It was like, yeah, he's done. We found the guy
So whenever you said he did see his good show, was that when Creed was at their height?
at the height. It was the was it Jar of Clay or whatever it was.
Where was that at?
This was in Dallas.
Yeah.
It was the big arena.
Who's the opener?
Oh, it was like a day of music.
Oh,
Was
was
that-
it? Okay, I got you.
It was I think there was like 3 or 4 bands before it, and I want to say Bush was there.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
The Collective Soul. No, it was Collective Soul, not Bush.
Was that like they'd have a big fest?
And they were kind of all that little bit rock, not real hard rock, but popular bands at the time.
Remember they would call it like Edge Fest or something like that, or
yeah.
it was by the Eagle.
I think
right?
you're right about that. It was
'They'd bring some big bands.
Probably 2.
Yeah.
So were they the main attraction? Was that their?
Yeah, they were the.
They were the
They
main
were the
ones,
headliner.
and I guess they
They
brought,
brought the pyro. The pyro. They brought the.
They brought everything.
They brought it all.
Everything but the kitchen sink.
It was Scott Stapp.
Turn on the pyro.
+1, because he's in Dallas, baby. They
The
Dallas.
laser lights, dude. I dug them, brother. I did dig. So anyway, so is it cheesy? So here's the question: though. Is it cheesy to dig those guys, or? I mean, because are they the Nickelback of the
No.
United States?
No, and dude, like
They didn't write anything cheesy.
I don't know what happened with the Nickelback thing.
I think
you know?
I think that song's "I like your pants around your feet."
That didn't help, did-
That
right?
was
That didn't
very.
help.
It was Avril Lavigne.
You're my every damn disease. I think, I
It's
think
like-
that just there's like this lyrics are just so. It was so. What's the word I'm thinking?
Keep going.
It was just so cheesy.
Yeah.
It was like
It was so good.
it was like when
Cringe cheesy.
it was cringe cheesy. It was like when Poison first came out with look what the cat dragged in. Those kind of lyrics, But that was back in the early '80s. This is come on, dude. I don't
That
know when
was
it was
cheesy too.
Yeah, always. But
it
what I'm
just
saying,
made a
but it's
comeback.
no, but yeah. But what I'm saying, it was that cheesy, and it should have
And
stayed
we're-
back then. He just brought it back again.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's what it was. I have no idea.
What they did was this was textbook. Biden said, "We're going to give the world COVID, and then we're going to let every past rock band who ever had a hit before '80 to come back, come back, motherfucker.
Before Lewis
You
Hey,
got one.
get
Get your
your-
ass back in there.
Get you a song on Stranger Things.
Well, the '90s is the '90s is
Make
the,
$1 million fucking dollars.
the '90s is coming back right now.
Does anybody have the number for the singer from Crocus?
Yeah, yeah, he's dead.
Can we call him?
The
Lewis,
second one's dead.
What you got in there, brother? Anything going on we can talk about?
Fuck, this was boring. Thank God. Woo! Save us, man.
Save us.
The police is Every Breath You Take is breaking $1 billion on streaming.
On streaming?
Hits,
That-
not dollars.
Yeah, not dollars.
It made like
What-
$15.
Were you
It's
ever a
lit-
police fan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
When you were about 10ish, 12ish. Yeah.
I was not only was a police fan, I was also an Andy Summers fan.
Right on.
What a great guitar player.
He
Those
was pretty
very
inventive.
clever guitar parts he wrote, dude. Very clever, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I dug them. What else you got, Mr. Lewis?
Got
That Korean band BTS is going to join the military, which I don't care about.
Well, they seem like the military type.
But they have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
Oh, they have to?
Here's the deal.
Yeah,
And, and,
South Korea.
and Korea, yeah. They're definitely, for so many reasons, not like the United States. But
That may be
One thing-
why Kim
the
is
on-
dressing.
the only
different.
cool thing I will give them about that is
Oh.
that everybody, doesn't matter how famous you are, you have to serve in the military. And just like
South and North.
yes, you have to do it. It's crazy.
Well, it's-
Isn't
it was
Even
kind
South
of
is
like,
a,
Now I don't know what happens if you don't do it in South. I know what happens when you do it in North.
exactly.
You
I don't-
die.
You know, I can pretty
You're
much
gonna die
guess.
No matter what.
I
They
can
will
pretty,
feed you.
yeah. Well, they don't feed a corpse, but whatever.
Lewis, what you got on Chuck Berry? It was his birthday
Is that what he
yesterday.
said? Is that what he just? Wow.
It was his birthday yesterday. You saw Chuck Berry.
I did.
didn't you?
I did see Chuck Berry. You know what, man? It was.
he cannot be alive still.
No.
No.
I was
Okay.
gonna say,
I was at a. I was
like,
at.
damn.
He's 100.
Well, Lewis would have called him out if he was alive.
No, I saw him at a casino.
Shut up.
Casino in Louisiana, and he rocked it. It was. I mean,
Was he loud?
he was. Those notes were horrible. But man, and that that duck
You
that
said
duck
he
walk
rocked
was
it.
was a little
Stiff.
everybody's equilibrium goes out as you get older
It was
slightly.
It was
wasn't-
more wood duck
Yes.
than mallard.
he was headed that way, ended that way. But you know what, dude? He was badass because that was Chuck Berry, dude.
Was the drunken duck walk?
No, he I don't know if he was drunk, but you know what? He was he rocked it till he couldn't rock it. He's an old dude, but still he was Chuck Berry.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is Chuck Berry. It's
I mean,
Chuck
come
Berry.
on, Johnny Be Good. I mean, Angus Young. That was his favorite guitar player, and that says a lot because Angus Young wrote hit after hit. But
Yeah,
the
he's
embryo
like-
of all that stuff was Chuck Berry.
He's all your favorite guitar players'
That's
favorite
it.
guitar player.
Exactly, that's the embryo right there. You know, so for sure that's bad.
You
That's bad.
ever
I
watched
tell
the
you-
Chuck Berry movie?
What?
Did you ever watch the Chuck Berry
There's a
movie?
Chuck Berry movie?
Oh, Hell, Rock and Roll.
Nuh-uh.
Let me refresh your memory. Remember, he slaps Keith Richards.
Yes,
they tell
is it
the
in there?
they tell the story. Yeah.
I tell you what, I saw it. What's his name? Is his name Mos Def that played him in
Oh yeah.
was it Cadillac Records?
Cadillac
Remember?
Records. Yeah.
Man, he did a badass part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, you know, there's actors that you get into the movie so much and you think that's them, and like movies that portray someone else. Another one I'm going to say is the guy that played the Black Panther. He played James Brown. And by the middle of the movie, you thought that was James Brown. He
That
was
was
so
good.
badass.
What
That
about
was good.
Jamie Foxx?
Oh, and Ray. Yeah.
Ray.
I still knew that was Jamie Foxx. That's the only thing, but still, he was badass.
How about Val Kilmer and Jim
Well,
Morrison?
Dude, yes.
Oh,
He knocked it out. He must have been the first one that did that.
Yes.
Him And fucking Kurt Russell is always a fucking badass.
Kurt Russell as Elvis.
Elvis.
Oh, that's okay.
I mean, this guy's a knock it out the park.
And
dude.
wasn't he
those
the-
guys did.
Wasn't he the Elvis in what was it?
Yes.
1,000 Miles of Graceland?
Yes.
Oh, that was
He
He
great.
also
Kurt
was
Russell's
the kid
one of my
that kicked
favorites.
Elvis.
One
Yeah.
of my favorites.
What?
He was also the kid that actually kicked Elvis.
Oh, there was a kid that actually kicked Elvis
In real life?
in real life.
In real
And it-
life. And that was
Really?
Kurt Russell.
That was Kurt Russell.
Wow, that's
Really?
crazy.
He played a mean Wyatt Earp too.
That's right. Hell yes. That was the best Tombstone. It was Wide Open Tombstone.
Yeah.
There were two of them. I'm a Costner fan, but Tombstone.
Once again, they had the Val Kilmer up the sleeve there.
Dude,
Yeah.
well, once he said,
Rocky
I'm-
can't talk no more.
once he said, "All you Cowboys better leave town because I'm bringing hell with me," or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh." Lewis, what you got, Lewis?
The Rolling Stones are set to make their next album without their longtime drummer, Charlie.
Yeah, all right.
They're
Let me,
still-
let me guess. Dave Grohl is playing drums.
I don't know.
That would be badass.
Scott Stapp.
That would be badass.
Scott Stapp has.
No,
picked up the
it's
drum
Steve
set.
Jordan.
Yeah. I guess they figured that out on the tribute deal, huh? Yeah.
That'd be
I wonder how
badass.
many bands they kind of put together a little bit, because there were some bands that didn't even know each other's stuff.
Oh wow.
Who was it that sang a Van Halen song, and he was just this
The
bizarre-
dude from the darkness.
Yeah.
What happened?
He say, what did he sing? Hot for Teacher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That song has to be sang
He did not-
exactly,
he
exactly
did not
right.
s-
Or
he
you
did-
you screw it up.
He did his thing. He did his
Did
thing.
you stop that screaming? You
Yeah.
really got to know what you're doing with
Well,
this.
he was. I mean, you can.
Where can I
vouch
see
for
this
it.
footage at?
You need to watch that
Is this,
Taylor Hawkins tribute.
so he did it on that one?
It's
Yeah.
man, it's like
I thought the darkness. Where are those guys at? I thought
they're
he disappeared
around.
a long time ago.
But wasn't he the guy that got mad because he wasn't able to play with Queen or something?
Oh,
Maybe.
That he had that one song that had vaguely sounded.
Oh,
like
yeah,
Queen.
yeah.
And they're like, that's got to be him. And when he wasn't,
Yeah.
when it wasn't him picked, it was like Paul Rogers or somebody.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. It
Yeah,
was
they-
Paul Rogers.
Yeah, it's like they grabbed some other total different turnaround.
Wow.
For the tour.
what a great choice, though.
Yeah.
Fuck, I
Let
love
me
Paul
ask you
Rogers.
this, you're a singer. So who's the hardest singer to cover? I'm going to give you three. Ozzy,
Yep.
Vince Neil,
Oh,
or John Bon Jovi?
Out of the three,
John
I
Bon
wanna
Jovi
go-
I'm going to ask
There-
John.
Well, Vince Neil has a horrible nasal thing that he does, and
Well, listen up.
he's got 2-3 phases,
Yeah.
and that's about it.
you said Bon Jovi.
So you're saying like that's doable, right?
No, I wouldn't even try.
You wouldn't try it?
Not most of it. Not the early stuff.
How about Ozzy?
Ozzy is a throaty, and it's real easy to go. There's very little range.
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
Uh,
Oh, go ahead.
How
So-
about Steven Tyler?
Oh
I
wow.
wouldn't try it.
How about John Bon Jovi? Is that hard?
John Bon Jovi.
That's
there's
total
some
nasal, right?
stuff- There's some stuff that is. He's got some notes from that first album when he was like 16.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to my ear, I've always thought like it'd be hard to cover Ozzy or Vince Neil because that voice is theirs. Like when you hear that, it's theirs,
Mhm.
right? You know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
like,
I
it's
do.
all character. It's like Willie Nelson.
Mhm.
You know, it's I always thought it'd be really tricky to cover Ozzy Osbourne, and
Yeah, I mean-
you don't really see a whole lot of bands
Well,
doing that.
You don't see me doing it. You know. You don't see me doing a lot of stuff out of my thing that I do. You know.
You know who I was listening to today? Ray Gillian from Badlands. I listened to.
That's good
I,
stuff.
yesterday I listened to the first album. Today I listened to the second and third. That dude was just as good on the third album, Dust Till Dawn, as he was in the very first battle. That's probably, man, I might say my favorite vocalist would be him. And I know it sounds crazy because he's not the guy that everybody knew.
Yeah.
But it was, if anybody out there
He just had a
Doesn't
good,
know that-
straightforward rock voice.
I don't know. It was what you would want to hear.
Yeah,
It was what you would want a rock singer to sound like.
Yeah.
I loved it. You know, I love Robert Plant too. You know, I'm sure Robert Plant was somebody he looked up to. But golly, that dude had the chops.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I love. What you got, brother?
What about Geddy Lee?
As a vocalist, I mean, he's a singer, but there's the vocalist and there's singers. He's a singer. He's not a vocalist. John would be a vocalist.
Is Dio pretty hard to cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you heard him hit a high note before?
Are you
like,
imitating
oh my
this
gosh.
dude, or are you?
Yeah, or
Yeah.
just trying to sing one of those tunes and hit the notes that Dio would hit, like.
I mean, there's that one. There's very little at the top. I don't think, that I couldn't pull off. I'm trying to think of one of the high notes, but
Yeah, really,
That's
he
cool,
really,
'cause
he's not a high note guy.
We're gonna add Rainbow in the Dark. So
cool. No, yeah, I like Dio for sure.
yeah. He get man to my ear. That was pretty high. You know.
Dio?
Yeah.
I never really thought he was a singer.
Yeah.
He was a high singer. He didn't
When he
really,
says we're off to see the witch.
I think his range is high, but I think when I'm thinking of singing high, I meant like hitting Ray Gillian notes or Robert
Oh
Plant
no,
notes.
no.
That's what I'm thinking.
No.
Now Gillian's another thing. We did Live Wire.
Woo, I
And
love it.
I was okay till you had a break, and it was all you. Live Wire. We
Live
had to sit-
Wire.
You know.
Yes. Yes.
That's a good note to really fuck
Look,
the
what a great
whole-
album.
a set up in your head. you know.
Yes.
In your head,
Badlands.
hit that note wrong, your whole set's ruined.
Badlands, one of my favorite bands of
Yeah.
all time. I still listen to them. Like
Yeah.
just golly. What you got, Lewis? How many more you got? One or two?
I got one.
Let's do one.
Ringo Starr suddenly canceled touring because he got infected with corona again. Kanye
Yeah.
just.
I'm sorry I laughed. I
No,
snickered.
Kanye,
I didn't mean to snicker.
He went down the deep end.
Whoa, what?
But hey, I got to hear the Kanye one. Tell me the Kanye one.
He's getting sued for like $245 million.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of things here about Kanye.
Okay,
It's a
I
whole
gotta hear
list
'em.
of- Well, apparently he's making threats against his ex-wife, and oh,
You see the
shit.
ghost that's fucking it?
No.
That dude is.
He's saying a bunch of very. I really don't want to
He
say
bought
it.
the right wing like Twitter. There's a like right wing Twitter.
Like a hashtag or something?
Yeah, something like that. Like,
Yeah,
like
it's from
Twitter.
that-
Hey,
Oh,
trademarked
Parlor.
it.
I think it's
They bought
Parlor.
that.
And I don't think he's told anybody that how much Kim's giving him in alimony.
Oh, that's right. They're in California, aren't they?
Yeah.
Ah, that's
So
dead
Kim's
boy.
paying him. Or
Kim's the billionaire.
okay,
He's only a thousandaire.
No, I don't think so. That's Kanye, dude.
it's billion.
Hey,
That
do you
is-
know how
that is
broke Michael
royalty.
Jackson was?
Dude, his Kanye.
Michael Jackson was.
Kanye.
Michael
dude,
had basically what he had hoarded in his in
don't,
Graceland.
you don't- you don't
1.5
know-
million.
or whatever the
Yeah,
hell.
you
it
don't
was.
know
Not
Kanye,
Graceland,
trust
but
me.
Neverland.
Kanye has his. You don't know Kanye. He has his hands in so
Nah,
many
he's
things.
he's in clothes.
and
all
and
that
Mark,
kind of
yes, all of that stuff, dude. He is.
stuff.
He is. You know.
Well, he's
he's
fixing
royalty.
He's fixing to have 500 million.
He.
Doing what?
Just
From old girl.
Oh,
being
yes.
just being married to old girl,
You know,
having a couple of east west north south,
I love it.
a left turn.
I love it. You know what?
Oh, he would have left turn a long time ago.
This one is pretty awesome. Blink 182
Yes, man.
announces their reunion tour.
It was never Blink without him.
Dude, I guess that's
was
because
weird without him.
I was never a big fan of those guys, but I respect them. I respect them.
They had some
Isn't
hits.
there like a
Yeah.
90s tribute band?
I used to like that Jimmy Eat World.
I think I remember that. I
Say
think
it
I
ain't.
remember
No, that's not. That's Blink 182. Jimmy Eat World was. It just takes some time, little bit of. Yeah.
Oh, is that them?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
That's good stuff.
Okay. Well, fellas.
That was my creed.
And one more thing.
Well, fellas.
He was in his towel with a microphone.
What I have planned, hopefully by November, and if y'all can't do it twice a week. I understand, but I'm gonna try to pull out of whatever I can a second week. So we're gonna try to do not right now, but maybe in November. My plans to do one a week, but till November, then I'm gonna try to squeeze out another one. If y'all can sit in, y'all can't. But if not, it'll either just be whoever's gonna be here. But just to push the YouTube channel and the podcast itself. This is just numero uno. I'm still gonna leave the other ones, the practice ones up on YouTube. But this is our number one. I plan on getting as busy as I can on as busy as I can on this one. As far as broke down at the shack, I'm gonna do it every now and then, but I'm thinking I'm just gonna keep that one regional and really focus on this channel. This is the fun one. This one, who knows what it could do. This is just barely episode number 1, and who knows what we have in store. But I know it's gonna be kick ass because my bros are here. So thank you guys for doing this. I think this is gonna be a kick ass thing. Lewis and Gabriel, you guys rock it.
I got one more.
What you got, brother?
It was on the news a while ago, but Little Joe got his honorary
Yes.
high school diploma.
Props to Little Joe.
And he's like
And
8,
his son was the vice principal
And-
of the school that gave it to him.
and he just
Props to
turned
his son.
82 years old.
Yeah,
It's
Really?
not what you know.
Little Joe just turned 82 years old, and he is a gigging SOB, and his vocals are always badass. That one day we gotta have an episode on that dude. What's that?
he just had a birthday party in Temple. Was it last year or was it this year?
I don't know, but let me tell you one quick.
Studio stay there.
I think it's gone.
What,
I
in
think
Temple?
I think
Yeah.
when they
It's still
widened
Still
it.
there?
Oh,
No, it's still there, but San Antonio wants to move his museum and his studio and give him more money.
And let me
So
tell you,
it won't be in Temple no more. It'll be in San Antonio, but he's still debating about it.
let me tell you why they want to do that. Because that dude really is. I mean, Emilio had his time. Emilio was the king, but the real king at the Tejano was Little Joe.
He's a cultural icon.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you,
Not people know him.
Dude, they know him.
dude. You know,
Yeah.
My uncle, he went to San Antonio and he said he couldn't find no Tejano stations in San Antonio.
No, that's true. There aren't.
There-
There are
well,
no
but that.
I think there's one on AM.
But that's not what we're talking about. But what I'm talking about is what he did.
Wow.
Yeah, what he did.
What he did is what I'm talking about. That's why that dude is a legend. I mean,
That's some bad.
the whole Texas music with Willie and Nelson and all that stuff. Little Joe was in the mix of all of that.
Oh yeah.
He was in the middle of Willie,
Yeah, he
Willie and
was-
Waylon and all of those.
Museum where he hung out with Willie Nelson.
Those
He
were-
was
I mean,
friends with him.
Oh yeah, they played numerous farm aids and.
Dude, I tell you what, we had a sound guy. Sam and I were in a band with Johnny Bustamante. Fortunate enough to be in a sound guy who was Little Joe's sound guy at one time at the height of his career. And they played big stages. It's like, he was such a great sound guy. It's like, dude, where'd you learn how to run sound like that? He goes, we went on tour. We did a show with Rush. And that sounds kind of crazy. I know a lot of bands did shows with Rush, but that's the caliber of people they were playing with. But he was a Tejano artist. You see what I'm saying? That's what's so flabbergasting. That guy, a Tejano dude from Temple, Texas, was playing huge arenas and big festivals like that.
He's a sharp business guy and always had sharp, a team of sharp people around him. Like we played with them, kind of followed him around for a summer back in the '90s, and at that point, like there were bigger bands in Tejano music, right? Than Joe was on that scene at that time that were charting and doing whatnot, and. But here's what I'm getting to is he still was huge, but he was very smart. He never really played to just the Texas Tejano market.
Right.
So we're
he
playing
always
with.
thought huge. He thought big.
So we're kicking around with him for a couple of months here and there, and they said, yeah, this is the last show of the little run that we did. And he's like, where are you guys headed to? And we're like, oh, we're going from, I think we're in San Angelo, and then we're going somewhere else. Where are you guys headed to? He's like, we're going to Japan, and then we're going to come back after 3 weeks, and then we're going to go down into South America, and then we're going to come back into Mexico.
And then after that, he's going to
And
California,
so,
then he's gonna go
yeah,
back
it was
to
something
Texas.
like that.
That's
so it's
why
like
he's
while
the
these
king.
other cats were enjoying radio success, Joe was like, y'all can have that. You know, I'm just gonna go all around the world.
That's why he's the king.
Yeah, and
He invented Tejano. He literally invented it.
and
Well, if he had anybody from Rush in his mentality at all,
Right.
they're the reason that music is the way it is now with the way logistics is. Stage continuing, running.
Oh,
right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So they would have a stage set up and trucks behind them with another stage. And then they would have
Got
stage
you,
up,
got you.
And they'd bring all their own stuff, their lights, or PA systems.
Right.
And they brought shit bigger than the producers of a lot
Oh,
of these
wow,
shows and
wow,
stuff.
yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
Never mind, Rush is bringing their stuff.
So
But-
if Joe is the king, what's Selena, the princess?
Yeah.
She was.
she
oh,
was
hands
she was the
down.
queen. That's,
That's
queen.
what I was
Queen.
thinking about.
Yes,
Yeah.
hands down.
Princess or you say queen?
The queen,
Yeah,
not
well-
princess, because Laura was the first. Laura Canales was the first queen till Selena came, and not.
I would call her princess. I would call Selena princess because
I don't know.
What is it? Lado?
Laura Canales,
Yeah.
she was just, she wound up becoming a shadow to Selena.
Selena crossed over. I mean, there's
Yes,
still
that's
people.
the thing.
Dude,
Okay.
The
Dude,
crossover is the big
people
deal.
people of all races know the words to the Selena tune.
Yes,
You know, for real.
they
It's-
really
it's-
really do.
It's mind blowing.
Even kids that weren't even born when she was, on her top. When she
They
was
know
alive,
they know that bitty bitty
I
bomb
mean,
bomb.
And
That-
there was only like 3 songs that had Spanish in it, and one was like Linda Ronstadt.
Yeah,
and it
that's
was
right.
like,
That's right. Yes, that was a great
La
one.
Bamba.
Girls I loved before, La Bamba, and then that one right there, that was
Yes.
that made it.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah.
hit.
Yes.
Yes.
No, yeah,
And
that's
then her English version.
Yeah.
And people thought that she didn't know English because all she did was Spanish. Everyone's, that's when she died.
yeah.
It came out, and that's when it became bigger because that was her last.
Well, yeah,
album.
like all artists, they get bigger when they pass, but still, yeah, not she was a queen, I think, but
Queen.
yeah, I think. But anyway, folks, we're going to close this up, man. I had a great time. If you can, please like and share, subscribe, ring the bell. Be sure to check us out next week. Like I said, I'm gonna try to push out 2 a week, but that'll be in November. But